Hello again, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me here on Celestial Goodness. I'm very delighted that you are back for more content that's uplifting and positive. And I just want to thank you for joining me in this endeavor and taking the time to check this out. As you know, the world is going through some very unprecedented times, is the best way to put it. And for a lot of people, it's very overwhelming and it's frustrating, and a lot of people are looking for different ways to cope. So I had originally planned on just focusing today on creating a sacred space, but it's sort of morphed into more of self-care during very overwhelming times. Over a year ago, I hosted a workshop called A Return to Sacred Space, Heal, Manifest, Love. At the time, I had this sense and indications from certain events in the astrology of the time, and also through my own personal meditations, that the world was really moving towards this heightened crescendo of events that would prove to be very heavy. And here we are. So the topics focused on healing and manifesting and love were topics that I felt would be vital to our everyday existence. With all that is going on in the world, it is easy to feel fatigued and also powerless. Energy is a vital part of this universe. When you have low energy, it becomes very difficult to manifest the things that you want to manifest in your life. It is also very difficult to accomplish your goals, your dreams, anything that you're doing, any advocacy that you're doing, any changes that you want to see happen in this world. You need energy, high vibrating energy, to do that. One way that you can take your power back and to increase your energy is through personal self-care. I consider this to be any act that tends to your mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional well-being. For some people, it's as simple as taking a walk in nature. For others, it's a long bubble bath. I know my younger sister is a big fan of those. That's why I call her the Little Mermaid. But for other people, it's really in doing the work. The work for healing themselves from anything that threatens to hinder their present and their future. Oftentimes, when we hear the word healing, we just think, put a Band-Aid on it. But when I talk about this healing, I'm talking about going deeper within our core and facing our shadow side, facing the things that are painful to address, and coming out on the other side of that with more peace in our life and the ability to move forward, not being held back by the past and not letting anything sabotage our future. So today I just want to suggest a few self-care tips for coping with the world, one of which is spending time in your own sacred space. So there's a quote from the Tao Te Ching that says, "Close your mouth, shut your doors, and be close to the Tao. Open your mouth, be busy all day, and live in confusion." That's the 52nd verse of the Tao Te Ching. And I think that's so relevant because we need stillness as much as we need interactions with the outside world and other people. So the question now is, what is a sacred space? A sacred space is a space cultivated by you. It's a space for peaceful reprieve where you can get still and listen to your own voice and to your intuition. It's a place where you can pray, where you can meditate, but a place where you go to replenish your spirit and your soul. In essence, this is your sanctuary. So how do you create a sacred space? For me, this involves 4 primary things. So the first would be, you want to determine what kind of space you are going to have. Is this going to be a room in your house? Is this going to be a small space where you can sit in the corner and just make it your own? The second thing is, you want to make it the space what you want it to be. You want to decorate the space in a way that's pleasing to you and your senses. You may decide to put in plants, quotes. I'm reading a wonderful book, and it's about creating joy in our external life as well. And the author, Ingrid Fattel Lee, she says that adding certain colors to our space can actually trick our brain into creating a sense of joy. So when you're making your sacred space, what I want you to do are to put things in that area or room or wherever it might be that actually make you feel a sense of joy, that make you feel happy. Like I said, that could be inspirational quotes, it might be comfy seating, or just something that makes you feel at peace. Next, I would also suggest putting up a sacred altar. It doesn't matter to me what your religious background is or what your spiritual practice is. Having a space designated to acknowledging your spiritual energy and acknowledging that there might be something more, or just something that reminds you about the beauty of this earth and this planet and having faith in humanity. You can choose an altar that utilizes the 4 elements, which are, if you've ever watched The Last Airbender, it would be air, water, fire, earth. And there's a 5th element, not necessarily the movie, but actually like the movie, which is spirit. So what is something, if you're Christian, that might be a cross. If you practice Hinduism, you may have the Om symbol. So there are different ways that you can incorporate spirit into your sacred altar. The space should be clean. You can add water, incense, light, a candlelight. I love crystals. You guys are going to see my huge selenite wand. So that's something that I would put on an altar. Fresh flowers, pictures of a loved one, anything that really catches your fancy, and you make this your own space. And finally, you want to use the space. You want to retreat to the space for prayer, for meditation, to connect to the divine, or whatever gives you a sense of peace and rejuvenation. For me, whatever space I create for myself, wherever I am, and I do create that space wherever I go, I go there to create my sanctuary outside of this world, because the world can make you weary. And so things that you can do in the space that are also elements of self-care, you could meditate, you can do yoga, you can quote your affirmations. Affirmations are something I'm going to talk about in a future video, but a few that I might suggest today that you can say with everything that's going on in the world is, I am safe. I am at peace with myself and the whole world. My life is blossoming in divine timing and in divine perfection. And you can also send out energy to the world to help create a peaceful environment for everyone. So in regards to self-care, I don't want to make this video too long. What I suggest to people is to create a self-care plan. So in your self-care plan, you get a piece of paper, type this up, whatever connects and feels right for you. But write down different areas of your life that you would like to enhance your self-care. So, for example, I have spiritual self-care, emotional self-care, physical self-care, relationship self-care, and work and professional self-care. So, for example, my spiritual self-care right now is going deeper into my meditative practice. The last few weeks have been stressful for a lot of people, and I realized that being able to calm my mind helps me to feel a sense of calm and to be able to clearly think about how I would like to help create change and how I would like to engage with the world right now. Emotional self-care for me is also knowing when to take a step back from the news, from social media, from conversations that do not feed my spirit right now. That too is self-care, and it's also a revolutionary act, right? Physical self-care, taking a walk in nature, running, yoga, stretching. My cousin says that I'm yoga resistant, and it's true. I haven't found it to be quite the thing for me, but I love walking and I love activities that feel very physical, and I know that I am like moving and I feel the energy moving. I feel my body moving. Relationship self-care. Talk to your friends about things that do make you feel joy, or help to create space for people who do need to talk about some of the more difficult topics. Those two are relationship self-care. Work and professional life. I think for a lot of people going to work in this pandemic time, it is also stressful, and so your work self-care might be taking time off from work, or telling someone that you're not able to meet at a specific time because you know for yourself that you're not going to be able to fully focus or to be fully engaged. So whatever is going on for you at this time, please remember to take some time to create a space for yourself, to hold a space for yourself, and to take care of yourself. I have written a new blog post today on my blog at www.celestialgoodness.com. It's called What We Learn in the Darkness. I think the darkness gets a bad rap because we're like, oh, all the horrible things are happening and so forth. But there have been times in my own life where something, seemingly terrible has happened. And from that chaos, some form of creativity has been birthed. Something miraculous has emerged. I have grown stronger, or have been able to make a change, a needed change in my life. So check that out, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. We are at the early phases, and so I thank you if you're jumping on this journey with me. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of gratitude for you. And I just want you guys to take care of yourself right now and know that you have a purpose here on the planet. You can be used in so many wonderful ways to be of service to humanity, and you're loved. So thank you.